Allan Cleaves. Last night I tried to do a live stream of me coloring one of these new heads that I've been making. I've been having a lot of fun lately making these heads. Sometimes you make a drawing and you just think it's gonna be a one-shot deal, but then you look at it afterwards. You're like, oh, I like that. I think I'll make another one. And after a while, you have 4 and 5 of just new drawings, and it's become like a little small series. What I think I'll do is put these in the zine somehow, but today I'm gonna work on this character right here. And it has to do like with another one of my goals for today. I want to make a quadrupedal animal walk around that's like a character with like 4 legs. I haven't rigged one up for animation yet, so I think that should be like fun and challenging for today. And if I can get like the body to be kind of as abstract as the head is right now, I'll be very happy. So I'm gonna switch over to Corel Painter. I've already isolated this drawing's line art where the black lines are only showing. So I just did that by like going to channels and doing that and clicking that little thing right there and using curves to get like the black and whites right. So I think for the most part I'm all ready to go. Haven't really like figured out like a color scheme for this thing yet, so I'm just gonna like play around. I think I want it to be kind of like bluish green, so we're gonna do a little coloring that way. I started coloring the eyes like last night. Just added like some red eyes to it. That was like the one thing I knew that I was certain about. But everything else, I've only kind of got like a vague idea of how I want it to be. I don't know what these things remind me of, but I think they're pretty cool when I drag them into After Effects and glitch them. It just kind of gives my art like a new breath. When I'm doing my flats in Corel Painter, I usually use like the flat color brush because it doesn't have like any texture edges. It's flat all the way around. So when I switch to paint bucket, see I missed a spot. It usually gives me like a clean line, clean flat area. I don't have to go back and work those edges too much. There we go. I think I'm gonna try to blend in like blues, greens, and reds. I kind of want this thing to look like terrifying. I'd be pretty weirded out if I like saw this character on the street, just kind of like limping around and grunting and breathing. My other goals for today is I probably have like seven volumes of Shark Tooth. I want to get those compiled into one thing and get it uploaded so people can like check it out online digitally. And they'll still be offered on my website for sale, but right now I'm not so much into that, like making prints and copies and things like that. I've got like so much other stuff going on right now. Paintings to finish, blog to update daily. It all gets a little bit hectic at times. I think that's a good start. I want his nose to be reddish because that kind of suits like the color jobs I've already done in the past. Keep these things kind of uniform in their own little like way. Once we get the flats down, we'll do like a little bit of like textural work. like my noses to be red, so I gotta figure out a way to get that red as well. Oh, for the sake of it, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Then I'll go back in with a smaller brush and work out some of the details. I don't know what this thing reminds me. It kind of reminds me of The Grinch That Stole Christmas. I get that kind of vibe from it. Also kind of reminds me of like a dragon. Be a good dragon head. Clean up the edge work a little bit later. Purple hair. That just came to me. He's gonna have purple hair. At some point I'd like to pass just like the line art off to somebody else who's like interested in working digitally and do it like a collaboration that way. I like for it to be like a back and forth exchange where they pass me some art, I manipulate it, and we just do it like that digitally. It beats like sending things off through the post. And most of my friends live in like California, so the shipping's always like higher than what it should be. Let's see, somehow I picked up a different color red. Let's get it all back to the same color for a second. I think his tongue's going to be a version of purple too. A little bit lighter than, there we go. I'll manipulate that a little bit later if I don't like it. These little teeth are going to be pesky to get in color, but I'll get that done. Monsters have yellow teeth. That's like just my philosophy. They don't brush their teeth. Come on, let's get that little overcoloring out of there. There we go. I'll just quickly check the edges, clean those up a little bit. Oftentimes drawing makes me not think about the future, but sometimes a drawing makes me directly think about like what's going on in my life. And I don't know, when I woke up this morning and like thought about like just what I had to do today, I had this thought about how 2016 has been just like a year of like personal loss for as far as like just friendships and alliances. But I was thinking about like how abstracting something that's already concrete kind of like how like life is going. It's like when you abstract something, you like shed away its like old skin and give it a new life. And I don't know. I thought there was just like some kind of like beauty in that idea, and it's something I like want to expand upon a little bit later. Maybe with a poem or like a collaborative poem drawing, like some of the things I've like done in the past. I think abstraction is like the attempt to recreate something and give it a new outlook and make the old outlook on life, its old appearance, less relevant, because like in its new form, it's just stronger and more beautiful than it was in the past. And I think that's how like personal growth for like people should be. We're all trying to get to our ultimate form and just be the strongest, best version of ourselves that we can like possibly be. So I guess my ultimate goal is to make a monster that jumps off the wall and its ferocity where no one challenges it. I kind of like this. I just like how this looks. I think I'm gonna play around with. This is like too much red on this one side, so one of these eyes has to be like another color. I need to start making like some solid black eye characters. Like solid black eyes are always a little bit freaky. Let's see what this one will look like that way. See how freaky that is. Give him a dot, just so we know it's not like a hole in his head. Where's my... Yeah, that'll work. May have to go over top of that to get it like I want it. Yeah, there we go. Another little dot. Yeah, that's kind of intimidating. Okay, I got like the solid flats pretty much colored. I guess I can clean up these teeth real quick. But after that, I'm gonna go into channels and save this entire flat thing as like a selection. I've just found that doing that comes in handy when you want to just go in and paint freely without having to worry about the lines, like staying inside the lines. Once you get like the flats behind like the line art, saving that selection just kind of speeds things up in the future. Okay. So right there, I'm gonna go into channels, add to selection. Let's see what that does. Okay. Select. Save selection. We're gonna call it head. So now when I need that, I can just like pop that up and start coloring again without having to worry about going outside the edges. Okay, with that selected, what I'm going to do now is just give it like a little bit more tone. I'm going to go in with just add water, the just add water brush, and kind of smooth some of these line edges in. And then we're going to do like a little like blending with like the airbrush. It's way too big. Yeah, right there. Just kind of knocking these little hard edges back a little bit. This is on like a new layer too. I normally don't do that, but it's on like a new layer. Makes the editing process just a little bit easier to deal with. I don't need that selected, so I'm just going to go ahead and deselect that right now. Okay, where's my flat brush? Still cleaning up stuff. There we go. Okay. Go with that green. Want it to be a little bit warmer and a little bit darker. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my airbrush. Detail airbrush. No, soft airbrush. See how that works. Now that it's loaded, I can hit that edge as hard as I want to without having to worry about it bleeding out. Just adding like a little darker tone around some areas to kind of like round out this thing and give it a little bit more depth and appearance. All of my drawings come off as like really flat no matter how much I draw away on them. So I get like a lot of my depth just by messing with the color tones. These purples, I'm going to assist these areas, make that look a little bit darker, where the hair kind of like wrinkles up. I'm not big on adding like a lot of highlights, but I'll probably at some point like add a few highlights just to make things pop out a little bit better. Get a little bit darker around that ridge. It's going to help that nose pop out a little bit more. Darker where the hair meets the forehead. Smaller brush for these little ridges. Once I do this, I can go back and blend it like we did before with the just add water brush. I'm not gonna try to overly render this thing because it's mostly going to be glitched anyway. I'm more interested in what I can make from this than like making this like a finished piece. Okay. Let's pick that green back up a little bit. Go ahead and drop that down. Let's see how it looks so far. They gave it like quite a bit more depth already, but let's give it a few highlights. When I'm doing highlights, I like to use like complementary highlights. They like pop off a little bit better. So in the blues, I'm gonna use like really light whites that have kind of like an orangish tint to them. It's like our eye will see that just a little bit better. I'm gonna switch to detail brush. Actually, I'll make that a little bit harder. Just a highlight right there. See how it looks stretched out. I'm gonna soften some of these just a little bit. There we go. In retrospect, I kind of wish this character was a little bit more hairy, but That's something I could probably like fix digitally too, but I don't think I'm gonna do that today. Maybe a little later I'll show you guys like what I made from this, but I think that's as far as I'm gonna push it for right now. So that's it. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I could blend on this thing forever, but like I said, I'm gonna drag it into After Effects and manipulate it through pixel sorting, data bending, through with the program Audacity, and I'm gonna see what kind of results I can get from it this way. If this was like for a finished piece, I would work on it a lot longer. But like I said, it's like unnecessary for what I'm doing. So, thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Hope you enjoyed my little drawing presentation demonstration. And you can check out my work at rogerallencleaves.com. And you can also like check out my Tumblr, the foxdraws.tumblr.com. Okay, I'm out.